Ngiyakubingelela mbukeli, igama Sibulelo inkosazana kwamyeni, and welcome to Create Black. I know what you're here for today. Anyways, so today I want to talk about the death of polygamy. You heard me. The death of polygamy. If you're not sure what polygamy is when a man decides to marry more than one wife. So that man will be considered a polygamist. And polygamy is an ancient practice that was practiced in most cultures for different reasons. And with the rise of Christianity, polygamy slowly became extinct. But not completely, because there are some very popular polygamists and there are also some not so popular polygamists that you probably know about. However, today, for the benefit of this conversation, I want to specifically talk about why I think polygamy is dead. Okay? I want to talk about the death of polygamy. So let's look at why was polygamy practiced from the beginning. Polygamy was practiced in order to procreate and in order to build generational wealth and also in order to build communities. So how one builds wealth with polygamy is that the first wife normally chose her sister wives. So she will decide who will be the second or third wife depending on what was necessary for the family, you know. So it was not based on lust, but it was based on what does this person bring into our home. So the first wife would choose maybe the person that she would decide to, choose for her husband to be the second wife would be a person who, for example, was good in weaving baskets. Okay, so that is a skill that maybe she perhaps didn't have, or she realized that it might benefit the family in some sort of way. So she would choose a wife that, for one, she's going to get along with, and secondly, a wife who knows how to perhaps weave those baskets, and those baskets are going to help the family for whatever need that they have, So the first wife would then look at the needs of the family. So it wasn't the husband who just went out and cheated and then decided that, you know what, actually, I am a polygamist and I want to have more than one wife. But it was something that was known from the beginning that there is going to be another wife. However, the first wife needs to give approval. Heard me? Needs to give consent that it is okay for another person to join the family. And if it wasn't the first wife who chose her sister wife, it would be the family, as a whole, elders in the family. They would choose the wife. However, with that being said, the first wife still needs to approve. And the reason behind the first wife being the person who needs to approve is because you don't want to take away her belonging, her sense of belonging in the family. And you don't want to, diminish her pride. You don't want to make her feel less of a family member. So regardless of another person entering the family, it still does not take away her power of being indlovukazi or umamkhulu of that family. So when the second wife enters or the third wife enters, they know that I need to respect umamkhulu. Umamkhulu is the matriarch of this family, you know? So there wouldn't be a case where now the woman feels threatened by the new addition to the family, but rather they would work together in order to build the family. So now, what most polygamist men do is first they cheat on their wives or cheat on their wife, and then after years of cheating, suddenly a person would say, you know what, actually I am a polygamist, or I want to take on a second wife. And then now you expecting the first wife to let go of all the pain that you and your new lover and just get on with the program, you know? So how the question then becomes, how do you build a family based on pain? And you have created this pain. You have threatened her role in her family. You have threatened her security, and you'll have violated her trust. How do you then build a family? How does that work? So that's why you find that now in most polygamist marriages there will always be fights, because the way in which the other wives entered the scene was not in a way which was respectful. It was not in a way which was to build, but it broke the family structure. So of course that's gonna make people angry. And when you choose to have another wife, sometimes people forget that everything needs to be the same, or even more so. So if you are to buy flowers, you need to buy everybody's sunflowers. You can't just decide to buy wife number one roses, and then wife number two sunflowers, and then wife number three lilies. No, doesn't work that way. The gifts have to be the same, because there was gonna be a fight. Why does that one get roses and I got sunflowers? Even if roses are not, you know, my favorite flowers, but there's gonna be jealousy. What's so different that she got something different that I didn't get? So you see how then the tension gets built up. And this was not the whole point of polygamy. The point was to grow the family, right? So you chose somebody based on how they would grow your family. But now polygamy is based on lust. So abantu baphushwa inkanuko. Uthi mayebona ukuthi okay, muhle lo muntu lona, and then they cheat with that person, and then years later they want to marry the person, and they want to build a house for that person, forgetting the fact that they've never built a house for the first wife. So how do you then expect there to be peace in the family if you yourself have forgotten why polygamy was even practiced to begin with? So with the rise of Christianity, people forgot how polygamy was practiced, you know, and the reason why people forgot how polygamy was practiced is because they were told that no man can have more than one wife. This was seen as a sin, and this was seen as being heathen or demonic in some way. So it broke down the ways in which people used to practice, and slowly people forgot the rules that are attached to polygamy, because like every other marriage, polygamy also has its own rules. It has its own ways of doing things. And it is so interesting that, of course, people practice polygamy for different reasons, But it's also fascinating when people, when you ask men the reasons behind being a polygamist, there are very few of them who give you a reason that is understandable, because believe me, there are reasons where you are like, this person knows exactly why. It's not based on lust. They have a real strong reason. And it also is fascinating with those who say that they their wives have been chosen for them, because it's easy to lie about it, it is very easy to lie about it. But I am not saying that sometimes it can't do that for you. However, it is the simplest way of some people lying about it. And people tend to forget that regardless of how you choose to build isithembu sakho, at the end of the day, people don't want to admit ukuthi isithembu samamkhulu, because umamkhulu wazi iy'mfihlo, wazi ukujula kwaso, and she basically knows things about this whole thing that you probably as the second or the third wife do not know, right? So once you come in the family in a way that's gonna cause her pain, you take away, you tarnish her self-esteem, and you take away that power that she had, and you take away that element of her being a matriarch of the family. And I feel that a lot of people have forgotten the real meaning, or the real the real meaning, or the real reason of why polygamy was practiced, which is why now polygamy is a source of pain, which is why now people fight. The wife will say so and so is practicing witchcraft, this is what happened, this, it becomes a structure that is filled with so much pain, because people are practicing it based on lust and not exactly what it was meant to be. So that's why I'm saying that polygamy is dead. It is dead. Very few of men who are polygamist are doing it the right way. Majority of them, they are practicing polygamy out of lust, not necessarily to build. So if a person understands the true meaning of polygamy and the true practice of polygamy, then polygamy wouldn't be a practice that is, dead. But now polygamy is dead because you practice polygamy without even informing the first person that, you know what, at some point I am going to choose a second wife. You just do it just because you can. And for whatever reason, the first wife may stay, not because she's happy about the arrangement, but maybe because of her age. She feels that it's pointless to go anyway. But you are forgetting now, you have disrespected her, you have taken away her power. Even she agrees. By the way, this is Undlovukazi, and it's my daughter's favorite toy. And yeah, so this is just something for you to think about, Think about it. What do you think about polygamy? Do you think it is practiced in its true essence, or it is practiced based from lust? And I know a majority of women don't want to be part of that marriage, which is absolutely fine. And I know a lot of men want to be part of oh, to be polygamist, and they are forgetting the reason behind polygamy. So if you are practicing a polygamy based on the fact that you have money, and based on the fact that you you lasting, you then you're practicing it the incorrect way, but if it's from a point of procreation, generational wealth, and from a point of building a community, then you are perhaps one of the few men who are practicing it the right way. So if ever you also decide to be in a polygamous marriage, you need to look at that marriage. You need to really look, and you need to look at how you even enter that marriage, because it says a lot. So sorry about that. I am back. So, like I was saying, polygamy has changed, how it is practiced now is completely different to how older people used to practice it, which is why there is so much negativity and so much pain that is associated with modern polygamy. And that's why I'm saying that polygamy is dead, you know, because it is not respectful. If anything, it takes away from people instead of building. And you can just let me know, like, how you feel about polygamy. Do you still think that it is something that is, worthy? Do you still think that it's something that is practiced, in its truest form, or if it's something that is now based on lust, right? And yes, this is just something for us to think about. And that's it for today. And up until next time, don't forget to be a grounding flavor. Thank you so much.